My daughter is on what's called a free birthing support group or something like that. Free birthing, or they have different language for it, but it's basically non-medicalized birth based on supposedly a Christian perspective. And she was telling me today that she came across a question that someone had about circumcision on, by the way, supposedly a Christian group. Okay? Supposedly a Christian group came across a question about, what do you guys do about circumcising your baby? My goodness. 200 comments in response to this question. 200. Not a single one mentioned scripture or the covenant. Y'all understand what the problem is here? Where did circumcision originate, guys? Circumcision originated in the covenant that God extended to Abraham. This is going to be a sign in your flesh, in your physical flesh, as to the covenant that you've entered into with me, where you are circumcised from your sinful flesh. Totally cut off from your sinful flesh. And don't act like the Old Testament doesn't talk about the fulfillment of circumcision, because he says that all these nations that are circumcised are really uncircumcised in heart. And then Paul goes on to clarify that physical circumcision is nothing. Physical circumcision does not define you as being a Jew, but you are defined as being a Jew, and neither does ethnicity or descent, by the way, but that you are defined as being a Jew through the covenant of circumcision, through circumcision of the heart. He very clearly says, physical circumcision is nothing. If you want to physically circumcise, then what you're doing is returning to works of the law that are not going to save. 200 comments later, not a single person knew this. Not one calling themselves Christian. Do you? Do you know what circumcision is? Do you know what it represents? Because if you don't ask me to do a video for you. Go to the word and look up circumcision. Every single context of circumcision. I realize you can't do that in a handheld Bible, in a print Bible, but you can do it online, because there are Bible apps that you can use, Bible Gateway, Blue Letter Bible. You can plug in the word and look up the concept for yourself so that you can understand what circumcision represented, why it was established, what was established around it, what God has said about it, and what the fulfillment of it is. Don't ask me to do that work for you. I've talked about it enough on this channel, but you need to be accountable for going to scripture yourself so that you can know what God has said, so that you can understand when he talks about a covenant, what he's actually talking about. And then you got to go live that out. And then as you're living that out, you're going to start to discover other things that he has talked about, because he's going to reveal his covenant to you. Please discern this with God.